Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. You know, I've gotten a few questions recently on the tire and wheel setup I have here on the Tacoma. And specifically, people have been asking me about the size of the tires, the wheel, all that good stuff. And how much does it overhang the fenders or the fender flares? So I've devised a little way, I think, to measure that. We're going to give that a try. But just to let you know right up front, the tires are Nitto Ridge Grapplers. They're 295 55 R20s, and the wheels are Fuel Anzas. And we'll come up here, you guys can take a look. The Nitto Ridge Grappler, and somewhere around here is the size. There you go. And of course the Fuel wheels that you can see there. So we're gonna go up and grab my handy dandy little measuring device and see if I can't figure out how far they actually overhang the side of the truck, the wheels, the fender flares, whatever you want to say. So let me grab that, a tape measure. Okay, what I've got here is just a piece of metal, whatever, with a level on it. And I put the level on it so that I could make sure that it's straight up and down when I'm up against the edge of the truck, and then on the wheel, of course. And then just a tape measure. So let me go ahead and pull this out a little bit. Shouldn't be too far. I don't believe it hangs out any further than an inch and a half, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and sit this on the tire like you see there, and then we're going to try to get it level, which is about, looks like right there. So it is really right on the edge of the the lip of the tire, which will make it kind of fun to balance here while I see if I can't measure it and show you guys at the same time. Let's see. Let me give you guys a shot like that. Make sure we're still level. And we're level about right there. You guys can see I might be a hair off still. We'll fix that here once I get you guys in position. Right about there. So let's see if we can eyeball this, and we're going to look down from the edge of that right through the tire. And it looks like about, and you guys might have a better view than me, but maybe about an inch. Maybe an inch and a quarter to these little nubs that stick out on the side, but right to this more indented part here, looks like right about an inch beyond the fender. So let's go up to the front and take a look there, see if we can do the same thing. Set you guys down here for a minute. Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and get you lined up there. You guys can see the bubble there, hopefully. I think maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit different in the front on the tire anyway. I think right there is pretty darn close. So again, we're going to go from the edge of my piece of metal here out and make sure we're still level. Looks like we're pretty close. This is not an exact measurement, of course, but looking down from the top, again, does look to be about the same here, actually. About an inch and a quarter, an inch. So I'd say somewhere between an inch and a quarter on the overhang, or as far as how far they stick out beyond the fender, at least at the tops. And the fender should be fairly uniform, I think. So that'll give you a rough idea. I'm going to walk around and give you a just a naked eye view here and let you see what it looks like. All right, let's take a little walk around the truck. I'm going to try to show you some different angles, I guess, of what it looks like. But this is looking down the side of the truck. It shows you the amount of overhang you get. Obviously, the fender kind of cuts in down here below, so you get a little more overhang there. On the front, facing from the front of the truck back, you guys can see there, does overhang. Looks like much more to the naked eye, but measurement should be fairly accurate, I think. Go over here and look at this side in a little bit different lighting. That's about dead on, I think, from the front of the truck. And then looking back, get a little lower here. Looking back from the side of the truck, showing you the overhang there. Again, you know, in 3D, you know, with the naked eye, looks like a lot more, I think, than it really is. Especially since the fender cuts in, you know, at an angle from the top at the bottom. So let's look from the rear. Same kind of thing. We'll look down the truck towards the front this time. Show you guys. Here's a rear view. Let you guys see down here a little bit lower. And then over here in the more shaded area, same kind of thing. And there you can see it looks like it sticks out a lot less at the top. Obviously, again, more at the bottom where it curves under. Let's look down the truck here from the rear. Here you guys can see what it looks like from the rear on up to the front. I'll put you right up against the truck here, pretty much. And let's go take a look more down the front of the truck from the about the just the beginning of the cab. And I always wondered about this myself. You know, pictures and video don't do it justice, and nobody ever shows you a good angle. I hope I'm giving you a better angle to kind of get an idea what this looks like and how far it actually sticks out. It looks pretty good, I think. I love the stance of it. Just kind of give you some different angles around the truck. And yeah, I know the wheels and the tires are dirty. That happens when you drive the truck, you know. Show you a little more here from the front. Give you a little more shaded view, I guess, than the other side. There you go. That should give you a, I think, a pretty good idea of what it looks like on the truck, or what the wheels actually look like on the truck. One other thing I'll address, you know, people have also asked, does it rub? You know, at first, I didn't believe it did, but the longer that I have the truck, it seems to me that if I take a pretty substantial dip in the road, like out of a driveway or a restaurant particularly, from a restaurant back onto the main road where there's a pretty good dip, does seem to catch a little bit there on something. I haven't figured out what yet. We'll address that when we take it back in to have everything checked for tightness. I'm supposed to do that after 500 miles, so I will be doing that back at the shop, probably after the first of the year. But the other thing is, when you turn the wheel severely, and I don't mean when you're driving. If you turned it this far when you were driving, you'd wreck the vehicle. But when you're, for instance, backing out of the garage, and you need to crank the wheel pretty much as far as it'll go to get that angle you need to be able to clear everything when you're pulling out, it does seem to be rubbing in that instance as well. So kind of two fairly severe instances, I guess, where it does seem to rub a little bit. But they aren't really part of normal driving. I mean, typically you're not going to crank the wheel as far as it'll go anywhere you're at, unless you're pulling out of a really tight spot, or maybe pulling into a tight spot. And you're probably not going to take dips like I'm talking about normally on the road, unless you go in and out of the same restaurant maybe every day for lunch or something. Then I suppose you might. Obviously, if you're going off-road in anything very severe, you would need a different setup, I think. I don't believe that you would take this setup off-road and go flying through ruts and things like that. I think you definitely would run into some problems and probably need a more robust suspension setup than what the truck has, or what my truck has right now. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here. A few people have asked here and there about the setup. So you've got the wheel size, the tire size, they're 20-inch wheels. And the brands and all that good stuff. Lastly, I guess I'll add, Do I still like it, given those couple little things? Oh, absolutely. I think it just transforms the truck. I think for the money, you know, and you can spend a lot more. I mean, I could have gone with a different lift, spent twice as much money, and maybe these things would or would not occur, I don't know. But for the money, it gives you a fantastic look on this truck, and really turns it into what it should be, I think. I think this is the best look you can get on the Toyota Tacoma, meaning a lifted truck or some form of a lift. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know for you guys who have lifted trucks if you run into any of these kind of things, as far as the two instances, I mean, where it seems to rub. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day. Back.